What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to share with you some little things, little bits and pieces, tips, if you will, to help you level up your performances as a working wedding DJ. You know, everyone has their way of doing things, and I, for one, am super particular about little things. I think little things are everything, and little things make big things happen, and little things are the things that define experiences in a lot of different ways. It's like the little touches, the little appearance things, the ways that you interact and conduct yourself really define the experience in a lot of different ways. So the thing that I want to talk to you about today and share a little thing is one of my personal pet peeves, and that is dead air during a wedding. And I don't really care about when it happens. Some people thrive on that. Some people like to kill the music. They come out and they do their introduction. Some people like to kill the music in between people transitioning toasts or walking out and doing something. For me, I don't like to kill the music or the vibe or even background unless someone is literally ready to speak. So I always try to keep music and tools on deck, if you will, and available to make sure my team who's supporting me on the event can make sure that there's audio in the background as people are walking up, as we transition out, and we try to stay aware of what's going on. So just case in point here, if I'm coming out and doing introductions, we have a bed that starts before the introductions start. It's just the music bed. I come out, start talking, then we go into the introduction music as we introduce people into the room. I'm going to take you to another place that sometimes is often overlooked, and that's the transition point between people speaking. As you welcome someone up to the front of the room or to the table where the couple is seated, or maybe to the middle of the room, a lot of times people don't have a background track on. And one of the things I like to do is when I'm working with a couple is I like to understand who is coming up, who they are, what they're into, and I try to play a little something that fits their vibe, what they're into, or just their style or whatever. Sometimes that would have a little bit of maybe vocals in it. Sometimes it's just the music bed. And I use tools like instrumental edits, karaoke edits, and even stems to achieve that. So using stems, I just remove the vocals out of the song. And that's a super tool if you're a Serato user to help keep audio present as you're bringing things up. Now, when people are speaking, I'm always trying to listen to what they're saying, and if they reference points in times or activities or concerts or things that maybe the VIP that's actually speaking and one of the people that have just gotten married, one of the members in the family, or something that they've always done, they've always gone to this concert, they've always done this, or I remember when we were kids and we used to sing this song or whatever. I try to listen to that, and as they are done, they conclude their toast, I usually will break into a song like that, which always gets an incredible reaction, and it shows that you're paying attention. And those little things define experiences in a lot of ways, because it usually causes a reaction. It gets people into the vibe, and they're like, oh, that song, and sometimes the couple's like, did you plan that? And the person's like, no, I had no idea. And it's a cool way to, I guess, keep the party fresh and interactive in some respects. Same thing later on during the night, if we're doing something like a cake cutting or whatever, I always like to have music on in the background. And even if it's played at 10% volume or 20% volume in comparison to what you're going to play the rest of the party, it's about having something on. So having a folder or a crate available in your music library that has just some cool, different, and funky songs is a super plug. I know Rico from my team found an artist, Chromatic, and we use a lot of his edits, which keep things super cool and just keep things funky. And we use a lot of that when we're transitioning in between people coming up to the head table to say a few words, or in between moments. It's kind of like a burner folder, so to speak. And these burner folders of mine have grown to very large folders over time, because every time we pick out something that's fun or fresh or different, I like to keep it. I also like to stay in line with the couple. If the couple's into 90s throwback hip hop, I try to pull a handful of iconic 90s hip hop tracks to use as just a music bed if we're going to transition. If the best man's coming up and he's into throwback New York style hip hop, maybe I'm going to use Big Pimpin' by Jay-Z when he walks up, or Empire State. We're in New Jersey, in New York, and that's the vibe. And I feel using your tools and using your mind and staying present and staying aware of what's going on is how you can take a celebration from here and bring it to here. And I've got a lot of tips like this. And if you're looking to accelerate or level up your introduction segments, I'd love to invite you to check out the Wedding Introductions Like a Boss link in the description of this video, where you can get access to a lot of the questions and how I set up and stage and work with couples to develop and enhance incredible, incredible wedding introduction experiences for these like amazing weddings that we do. Anyway, taking your events to the next level is about the little things. And that's the point of this video. And I hope that you learned a little something from this one little pet peeve and way that we use music to take our celebrations to the next level. Now you might be saying, it's just that. How could you actually take the party to the next level? But when you do things and you connect dots and you're present for the entire span of time that you're in front of the people, you never know who's going to catch on to something, how it's going to influence the celebration, and how that little gap that you fill could totally transform the experience and set you up as like an alley-oop for the later part of the celebration that's coming right after that. That's the point of all this. The little things are the big things in life, and especially in the world of weddings. As a working wedding DJ, I want to hear from you. What's one thing that's a pet peeve or one thing that you do to take your celebrations to the next level? And not like a big thing. I mean like a little thing that you do. And I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation in the comments underneath this video. So if you could do me a solid, throw some love down there and let me know what you do to take your celebrations to the next level. I'd love to continue this conversation with each and every one of you. And I appreciate you sticking with me to the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and more content right here on deck in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Thanks for watching.